This lavish wedding took place in 2017. The Princess of Malaysia and an ordinary Dutch man became husband and wife. However, the bride's parents were against the marriage. She committed an act that shocked her father, Sultan Ibrahim, and the whole country. How did the lovers overcome all prejudices? How did this unusual story unfold, and how did it come to an end? Watch the video to the end to find out. Let's get started. Princess Aminah was born in 1986 into a royal family in the Malaysian state of Johor. Her father, billionaire Sultan Ibrahim, is considered one of the richest men in the country. He owns a vast business empire ranging from real estate and telecommunications to oil and gas. His net worth is estimated at $5.7 billion. Recently, Sultan Ibrahim was elected King of Malaysia. He has 6 children, and Aminah is his only daughter. Princess Aminah grew up in a palace, surrounded by the best teachers, care, and luxury. After her secondary education, Aminah graduated from the Australian International School in Singapore and became a graduate economist. At the age of 21, she started a cosmetics company and successfully developed her own cosmetics brand, Leuven's The Royal Art of Beauty. It is interesting to note that Aminah herself starred in cosmetics advertisements, which earned her the respect of her subjects. Throughout her youth, the princess led an active lifestyle. She enjoyed horse riding, running, and even mountaineering. Aminah inherited her mother's talent for drawing and became a recognized artist. Her life was incredibly successful, except for one thing. Aminah was not happy in her personal life. This was due to the fact that the girl was determined to marry for love and not for convenience, as was customary among aristocrats. In 2015, the girl turned 29. By that time, she had rejected many royal suitors offered to her by her father. Despite her family's pleas, Aminah persisted in her search for the one man who was meant for her. Who would have thought that the princess would find her destiny in an ordinary cafe where she happened to stop for a snack? A cafe manager of European appearance who introduced himself as Dennis volunteered to serve the beautiful girl. As their eyes met, both realized that their lives had changed forever. As you can imagine, this meeting was the beginning of one of the most incredible love stories of the 21st century. The story of how Aminah's chosen one ended up in a Singapore cafe is worth telling separately. Dennis Verbaas is a Dutchman born in the small town of Lisse near Amsterdam. After graduating from college, he embarked on a sports career and became a semi-professional soccer player. Then he was invited to Singapore, where Dennis got the job as manager of the local football club Tampines Rovers. At the same time, he worked part-time as a photo model for magazines and as a manager in the very cafe where fate brought Princess Aminah. Young people from different cultures and religions realized through some sixth sense that they were made for each other. At the same time, Dennis didn't even realize that he had met a born princess whose father owned a whole country. At first, he perceived Aminah as an ordinary Asian girl whom he liked very much. A whirlwind romance began between the young people that lasted about 3 years. Later, of course, Dennis learned that his beloved was the daughter of the king. In turn, Aminah liked the young man's surname, Verbaas, which can be translated from Dutch as amazing surprise. Meeting the man of her dreams at the age of 29 was indeed a surprise for the girl and, in a way, a reward for her persistent search for love. Aminah and Dennis' relationship had been going strong, and they were determined to get married. But this is where the problems began. Sultan Ibrahim wouldn't hear of his only daughter marrying a commoner, let alone a European. For 3 years, Aminah persuaded her father to agree to the marriage. Finally, the impregnable monarch relented. But a number of conditions were set for Dennis. The cunning king thought the groom would not be able to meet them. First of all, the Dutchman had to convert to Islam. Second, he had to change his name to a traditional Malay name. Third, he had to sign a marriage contract drawn up by the Sultan. According to this contract, Aminah, Dennis, and their children couldn't aspire to the highest office in Johor. Their love was so strong that Dennis didn't hesitate to agree to all the conditions. He became a Muslim and changed his Christian name to the Eastern name Mohammed Abdullah. The marriage contract was sealed with personal vows and publicly signed in one of the largest mosques in Malaysia. Sultan Ibrahim then blessed his daughter's marriage and organized a grand wedding. It took place in the state capital of Johor Bahru in the late summer of 2017. The couple chose August 14 as the wedding date because it was also the birthday of the bride's mother. 1,200 people were invited as guests of honor. The wedding ceremony was performed according to traditional Malay Muslim customs. Dennis read a poem of his own composition to the bride in which he vowed to love her for life. He then paid the Sultan a ransom of 22 local ringgits or $5 for the princess, and then the lavish celebrations began. Throughout the evening, the couple sat on a golden sofa throne, receiving congratulations. Members of the royal family sprinkled the newlyweds with incense, threw flower petals and grains of yellow rice. Dennis and Amina then received their parents' blessings and walked out into the crowd. This extraordinary ceremony was broadcast live on large screens in the state capital. The whole country watched the wedding festivities. Many observers expected the unusual family to break up soon. The newlyweds' relationship seemed too much like a fairy tale, and the cultural and mental differences seemed insurmountable. In addition, the couple found slanderers who tried to provoke a separation. To this end, the Yellow Press published materials defaming the family life of Amina and Dennis. In particular, it was reported that Amina did not keep house as a Muslim woman should. Allegedly, there is a mess and dirt in the family home, and the newlyweds are constantly quarreling. The princess herself responded to these attacks by saying that all these rumors are unreliable and that she and her husband are incredibly happy. This seems to be true, as Dennis and Amina often appeared at official receptions, where they looked happy and content with each other. In 2020, the couple had a daughter who was given the Muslim-Christian name Layla Sophia. 2 years later, the princess gave birth to a boy and retreated almost completely into childcare and family life. As befits the head of an Islamic family, Dennis provides for his wife and children. He now works as the head of one of the leading real estate development companies in Malaysia. In addition, the family has acquired a 30% stake in a major railroad company, Berjaya Rail, so the couple is financially well off. Meanwhile, Sultan Ibrahim has been elevated. At the end of 2023, he was elected King of all Malaysia, so Amina is no longer just a princess, but the daughter of a powerful monarch. Perhaps this was fate's way of thanking Sultan Ibrahim. After all, he was not afraid to break with tradition and give his daughter away in a love marriage to a commoner. As practice shows, many unequal marriages break up quickly, and the breakups are accompanied by loud scandals. Let's hope that our story will be an exception and that the newlyweds will have a long and happy family life. What do you think about this couple? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to our channel and give us a like if you enjoyed the video. See you soon.